Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद।
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivastava Bhaktavinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivastava Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण dear devotees. So today is Sunday. It is 8th of September. It is Bhadra Masa or Krishikesha Masa, Shukla Paksham and Panchami Tithi. So there is one Vaishnava event today. So today, Srimati Sita Thakur and appearance day, who is the concept of Sri Advaita Acharya. So we shall read a few lines, a few paragraphs about Sita Thakurani. Can I request any devotees to read? Can you request Indra Sachu Mataji? Hi.
Read.
No, Namati, you wanted to read? Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Srimati Sita Thakur. Srimati Sita Thakurani is to be worshipped just on much as Sachi Devi herself as the mother of the universe. She is the either Sri Advaita Acharya. She was the daughter of Sri Narsingha She was married to Sri Advaita Acharya Pul, in Fulva, Nagra. After after their wedding, Aditya Acharya went to Nadia to live in Santipura. Sita Thakurani was always observed in Vatsalya Prema for Sri Gau- Gaurav Gaurasundra Prabhu and out of pa- parental concern used to instruct Jagannath Mishra on how to care for the boy. Sri Krishnadasa Kaviraj Goswami has described the birth celebration of the house of Jagannath Mishra upon the advert of the Lord going specially attend to the position of Sri Sita Thakurani, Advaita Acharya, wife worshipable by all. The three words was Sita Thakurani taking the Acharya's order on her head. She had come to take a look at the new child, this jewel of jewels, and to offer him present. On the eve of the son's Edward, Sri Jagannath Mishra, seeing the imminent signs of his child's arrival, sent word to Advaita Acharya in Santipura that the long-awaited child was being born. Hearing news of the advent, advent of the under, unpreach, un, unpreachable, unpredictable, unprecedented
Unprecedented.
child, Advaita Acharya floated in the waves of ecstasy. With Sri Haridas Thakur, he went to bathe in the river, and after much dancing and song, he sent his wife to go quickly to Mayapur in Navadvip Navdipa. According to Gaura Ganesh Deepika, Sri Sita Thakurani is Yogmaya, the Purushot, Gaurav Parasad Chaitanya, sorry,
Chitravati.
Chaitanya says that the Krishna's Leela, she was Purnamasi, the mother of Sandipani Muni, grandmother of Madhya, Madhumangala, grandmother of Madhumangala and Nandi, Nandmukhi and disciple of Narad Muni. Gaura Ganesh Deepika, however, says that the Purnamasi in Krishna's Leela becomes Sri Govind Acharya in Chaitanya Leela.
Uh,
In
Thank you so much, Matan. So I think there is further. So I shall share in the group so devotees can read it. Thank you so much, Matan. So that is today's is the appearance day of Shri Sita Thakurani. So here again in the Gaurav Ganesh Deepika. So Yogamaya Bhagavati Grihini Tasya Sampratam Sita Rupeena Avatina Shri Namni Tat Prakashitaha. And she has got a sister, Shri, is the Prakasha or manifestation of Yogamaya. So this is the Sri Sita Thakurani and her sister. And she is the wife of Shri Advaita Acharya. She is mentioned as a Yogamaya Bhagavati Grihini Tasya Sampradam. Tasya Sampratam. Okay, so that is today is Sita Thakurani's appearance day. That is from the event's perspective. We shall quickly move into daily Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Brahma speaking to Narada Muni, describing different incarnations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yesterday he was mentioning about the Lord Ramchandra. So along with his Vishnu Tattvas, the expansions, that is Bharata, Lakshmana, Shatrugna, and then he has appeared in the family dynasty of Ikshvaku. And then on the order of his father, he went to the forest and then he lived there. And when he was living, Ravanasura unnecessarily disturbed him. And with the anger of Lord Ramchandra, so Ravanasura's family dynasty completely vanquished. As Asmat Prasad Sumukah Kalaya Kalesha Ikshwaku Vamsha Avatirya Guru Nideshe Tistanvanam Sadaita Anuja Avivesha Yasmin Virijya Dasakandara Artimachat. So likewise Brahma said. So and also just to extend the Ramachandra's glories. So Brahma is saying today that when Sita Mata was taken away by the Ravanasura to Lanka, and at that point of time, Rama wanted to cross the ocean to punish the Ravanasura. So at that time, by the glance of Lord Ramachandra, the ocean it got too much heat, and all the animals like crocodiles and snakes, so many of the animals living in the ocean, they were very fearful. At the time, the ocean it has given the way to the Lord Ramachandra to go to the enemy's kingdom. So that looking of Ramachandra's with the reddish eyes, it was compared with the Lord Shankara glancing the heavenly planets with his reddish eyes. Okay, so likewise, Brahma is saying to Narada Muni, we are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, chapter 7, verse number 24. यस्म अदाद् उदितिः वूढभय अङ्गवेपो मार्गं सपदि अरिपुरं हरवद्दिदक्षोः दूरे सुहृद्मथितरोषसुशोषणदृष्ट्या तातप्यमानमकर उरगनक्रचक्रः यस्मा अदाद् and unto Yasma is the unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead Ramachandra. Adad Buddhadihi, the great Indian ocean, it has given the path. Adad, it has given Vodabhaya. When it was given Vodabhaya, when it was affected by the fear, Angavepo, when it was fear and its body was trembling, the body of the ocean was trembling. Vodabhaya Angavepo. Margam, and what it has given? Margam, the way to Ramachandra to cross the Indian Ocean. Adad Margam. The Yasma Adad Margam. Yasma Adad Udadi Vodabhaya Angavepo Margam Sapadi Harirupam. So very quickly it has given the way to Ramachandra. So Ramachandra was performing sacrifice for 2 to 3 days. At that time, still it was not given the way. It didn't give any the clues to how to cross the ocean. At that time, Ramchandra, with his glance, reddish eyes, when looked at the ocean, it was boiled. Sapadi Ariripum is the city of the enemy. Haravad Didikchoho, Haravad Didakshoho. So, like that of Hara Mahadeva, Lord Shankara, desiring to burn to the ashes. When likewise, when Lord Shankara wanted to burn the heavenly planets, likewise, Ramachandra was looking at the ocean with his reddish eyes. It is a analogy comparing with Lord Shankara's glance. Haravad Didakshoho. And why? Dure Suhrud Matita. So in the very far away, outside of other side of the ocean, in the enemy's kingdom, and Suhrun is the intimate friend, that is Sita Devi, Ramachandra's intimate friend, Suhrud, who is in the Lanka. Matita, and Ramchandra was being aggrieved for Sita Devi. Dure Suhrud Matita, at that time, Ramchandra, Rosha Shushosana Drishtya, Rosha in anger, with Shushoshana is a red hot. Sushoshana, Drishtya by such a glance in anger. Tatapyamana, Tatapyamana is the burnt in heat, burning in heat. And that such kind of glance is that burning in heat. Tatapyamana, what happened? And what happened? All other who are all being aggrieved by that Tatapyamana. So Makara, Uraga, Nakra, Chakra. So Makara is all the sharks, Uraga snakes, and Nakra crocodiles, Chakraha circle. Circle in the sense they are forming in such a kind of whirlpools are happening in the ocean with the boiling heat by the glance of Lord Ramachandra. Tatapyamanam Makara Uraga Nakra Chakraha. So likewise, Brahma is saying this is a glorifying of Ramachandra's glance onto the ocean and what happened at that point of time, and then what ocean has done. So it has given the path to Ramachandra later on. Yasmadaad Budedihi Vodabhaya Angavepo Margam Sapadi Arirupum Haravad Didakshoho Dure Suhrud Matita Rosha Susoshana Drishtya Tatapyamana Makara Uraga Nakra Chakraha. Translation for this verse. The personality of Godhead Ramachandra, being aggrieved for his distant intimate friend Sita Devi, glanced over the city of enemy Ravana with red-hot eyes like those of Hara, who wanted to burn the kingdom of heaven. The great ocean, trembling in fear, gave him his way because its family members, the aquatics like the sharks, snakes, and crocodiles, were being burnt by the heat of the angry red hot eyes of the Lord. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay. Can I request Samjana Mataji, would you like to read the purport if you are available?
I'm sorry, I was in boss.
Okay, yeah, sure, Mataji. Thank you. Can I request any other devotees to read? Mrida Satya Mataji, would you like to read the purport? Radha Sekha Mataji, would you like to read the purport, please?
Hare Krishna purport. Purport. Personality of Godhead has every sentiment of a sentient being, other as like all other living beings, because he is the chief and original living entity, the supreme source of all other living beings. He is the Nitya, or the chief eternal amongst all the other eternals. He is the chief one, and all others are the dependent many. The many eternal and supported by the one eternal, and that's both the internal are qualitatively one. Due to such oneness, both the eternals constitutionally have complete range of sentiment. But the difference is that the sentiments of the chief eternal are different in quantity than the sentiments of the dependent eternals. When Ramachandra was angry and showed his red hot eyes, the whole ocean became heated with that energy, so much so that the aquatics within the great ocean felt the heat, and person personified the personified ocean trembled in fear and offered the Lord an easy path for reaching the enemy's city. The impersonalists will see havoc to this red hot sentiment of the Lord, because they want to use negation in perfection. Because the Lord is absolute, the impersonalists imagine that in the absolute, the sentiment of anger, which resembles mundane sentiments, must be conspicuous by absence. Due to a poor fund of knowledge, they do not realize that the sentiment of the absolute person is transcendental to all mundane concepts of quality and quantity. Had Lord Ramachandra's sentiment been of mundane origin, how could it disturb the whole ocean and his inhabitants? Can any mundane red hot eye generate heat in the great ocean? These are factors to be distinguished in terms of the personal and impersonal conception of the absolute truth. It as its aid, as it is said rather in the beginning of the Srimad Bhagavatam, the absolute truth is the source of everything. So the absolute person cannot be devoid of the sentiment that are reflected in the temporary mundane world. Rather, the different sentiment found in the absolute, either in anger or in mercy, have the same qualitative influence, or in other words, there is no mention, there is no mundane rather difference of value, because these sentiments are all in the absolute plane. Such sentiments are definitely not absent in the absolute, as the impersonalists think, making the mundane um, estimation of the transcendental world.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much, Mataji. So here in this purport, Prabhupada is mentioning about the Lord's position. So he is the master of all the living entities. So Nityo Nityanam, Chetanas Chetananam. So from the Katha Upanishad, Prabhupada is bringing. So out of all the eternal beings, he is the supremely eternal. And out of all conscious beings, he is the supremely conscious. And in the Vaikuntha, all these planets, all the living entities are eternal. Their Lord he is the master who makes all Sattam Vishtabhyavirjam Swanamno Mrudayan Vrushaha, and he gives the pleasure to all his associates, and he's the master. So here it is Lord Ramachandra, when he glances on the ocean, all the living entities with reddish eyes, then all the living entities get suffered. So here why it has happened? So it is again Prabhupada is explaining, he is the chief one and all others are the dependent. Many things, many eternals are supported by the one eternal. So that is one part. And then difference is that sentiments of the chief eternal are different in quantity from the sentiments from the dependent eternals. So here, when the master is angry, what happens to the all other living entities? They're all in fear. With great, so here within the great ocean felt the great and personified ocean trembled in fear and offered the Lord an easy path for reaching the enemy city. So that is describing the position of the Lord and the living entities. So impersonalists, so they do not have such kind of conception. They do not wanted to keep themselves as the servant of the Lord. But here we see here. So these are all the pastimes. Sattvam Vishtabhyam Virajam Swanamnam Rudian Rushaha. How can they derive happiness otherwise? How they will be existing without the support of the Lord? They do not see such kind of conception. They see in the impersonal sentiments. Okay, so that is about the Lord's personal existence. Prabhupada is stressing here. And but actually, in the spiritual world, all the variegatedness, everything, all the pastimes are going on. But this material world is the perverted reflection, because though we are the eternal living beings, we are covered by the material bodies, covered by the Mahatattva, false ego, and all the material elements. That's why whatever we do, it will give only distress to us. And then, had Lord Ramchandra's sentiment been of mundane origin, how could it disturb the whole ocean and its inhabitants? This is another point. So, if we see this material body, what is the source of this one? The life force, which is making the body to work. The hands move, legs move, eyes work, all the senses work, mind and intelligence, everything works based on the living force. So here, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the completely personified spirit. He is not a materialistic. So what happens when the source of everything, mm, when he gets angry, then how could it disturb the whole ocean? So this is kind of, had the Ramchandra sentiment been of mundane origin, how could it disturb the whole ocean and its inhabitants? Even all the materialistic world, people come and with reddish eyes stand in front of the ocean, but ocean doesn't move anything. So this is the nature of the living entities. It cannot, that is the difference between the Supreme Lord and the living beings. So, and Prabhupada mentions absolute truth is source of everything. And that is one point. There are the different sentiments found in absolute either in anger or mercy. So these are anger, mercy. Um, this is kamat, krodha, bhayat, bheshat, yata bhakteshware manaha, tadakam hitva Tadakam, Tadakam Hitva, they have attained the supreme destination. Some are with the lusty desire, some are with the kama dveshad, some are with the enviousness, bhayad, fear, krodhat, with the anger. So many people, somewhere or they're come in contact with the supreme personality. These are kind of different rasas. But the devotee is always in favorable to Krishna in a different favorable rasas. So this is all the perverted reflection of the spiritual world. Okay, so that is from this, the purport is putting all these points here. And here Ramachandra's anger, it made the ocean to agitate. Yasmadat budidihi vodabhaya angavepo margam sapadi aridipum haravad didakshoho dure suhrad madita rosa sushoshna drishtya tatapyamana makara uraga nakra chakraham. Okay, so likewise, Brahma is saying to Narada Muni. That is from Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, we shall quickly move into Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. So today letter to Mukunda, April 10th, 1970, Los Angeles. Can I request any devotees to read this letter? It's a small letter.
Yes, in written.
Yes, Mataji, please.
My dear Mukunda, please accept my blessing. I have received the Kartalas, but but it is completely hopeless. The man has cheated us, per sent per sent per sorry, the man has cheated us cent, but there is no way to rectify it, and we shall wait for future. We shall wait for future to get the right thing. I hope everything is going on nicely in your temple, and please keep me informed regularly of the activities. I have not heard from son Shamsundara for a long time. I sent him one letter of which I have not received any reply as yet. Please remind him. Please offer my blessing to all the devotees. Your able well-wisher, S.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Right. Thank you, Mataji. Any takeaway point, Mataji?
And just Prabhupada is saying that they were cheated by getting wrong, wrong Kartala, and and then we just think like right things will happen in future, and we just talking about that, and everything is going nicely in the temple, and then we just and they always ask that please inform what is everything happen and regularly what activities and what you're doing. So he just asking, and he also saying that he did not heard anything from Samsundara, and he just said he will write the letter to him. Yeah, he has sent a letter, but he has not received any response, anything like that. So yeah, and then he just offered the blessing to all the devotee and something. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. Very nicely summarized. So this is a small letter, but yeah. And can I request any other devotees to read another letter? It's a letter to Shyamadasi, April 11th, 1970. Sharanya Mataji.
Hare Krishna. My dear Shyamadasi, please accept my blessings. I am very glad to receive your letter dated 5th April 1970. Next summer, if your child delivery is complete by that time, I invite you to come here at that time and stay in this new temple along with other devotees and see how things are going on here. This church is very nice and commodious. We have got lecture hall, separate temple hall, separate my two-storied residential quarters separate, and Brahmachari and Brahmacharini quarters separate, householders quarters separate. Beside that, there is extra land for developing a nice garden house and parking motor cars. So I am glad that you are typing the remaining portion of Krishna, and then I shall send the second part of Krishna also for editing. Your husband wanted from me a specific duty, and I think the best part of his valor can be utilized in editorial work. There is ample work for his engagement and your assistance for him. So combined together, you fully engage yourself in the service of Krishna, and please come here. I shall ask you to make some good chapatis for me. This will be an extra duty for you besides your typewriting work. Hope this will meet you in good health. Your ever well wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji. Can you take your points, Mataji?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yes, so Prabhupada was always ready to give some services in Krishna consciousness to all devotees according to their situation. So this Mataji was pregnant, so Prabhupada was giving her editorial work, and when her husband also wanted some specific duty, Prabhupada was asking him to come. They combinedly do the editorial work and typing work of Krishna. So and Prabhupada was asking, like, when after your delivery you can come to see the new church they have got. So and Prabhupada was very happy that that new place got all the facilities. So and Prabhupada was explaining all that. So it is like in life, whatever condition or whatever circumstances we are, but still we can find some way to serve Krishna according to the things low. So if we look, we will have something suitable for us. So yes, Prabhu, that's what I could I take away from this letter. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for kindly summarizing this letter. Any other points, dear devotees, you wanted to add to this letter? Okay, so this is and rendering service to the spiritual master. It is the most precious thing. Prabhupada is asking to make some chapatis for me. So this is again a very beautiful service. Susrusha Siddharnasya Vasudeva Kata Ruchihi. When we render service to, that is called Syadma Sevaya Vipraha Punyatiddini serving to the spiritual master. So this is a additional, we need to take an opportunity to render some service to the spiritual master somewhere or other. Okay, so this is very beautiful letter as well. Thank you so much, Mataji. These are from the Prabhupada's letters, and from the announcements point of view. So coming Tuesday, our preaching practice session with Ramlala Prabhuji at 8 p.m. Okay, that is our upcoming event. And also I request dear devotees, if you have got any updates or you wanted to share anything on Krishna consciousness or any questions, kindly share before we move on to the Ramayana.
Maybe for Rama, just we have read that it was happen when Ram want to, like, they want to go to the Lanka, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
It also, like, Ram has tried to, like, not get angry or anything before, but then it was not listen, and that's why he get angry, because he was so merciful. Even he has done fasting and all these things.
Yes.
Required. So God still has done all this and follow, and still that was not happen, and this reason he get angry. Otherwise, God not
Yes.
angry.
Thank you, Mataji, for adding that point. Yes, Ramchandra has followed those rules and the regulations like fasting and that vrata, but still he did not respond to Ramchandra's that sacrifices that. So at that time Rama was angry.
Yeah, because Lakshmana was angry before, but still Rama has stopped him. And afterwards he was asked and all this. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Okay, so this is the right context, even just we are starting Ramayana now. Thank you, Mataji. Any other points, dear devotees, you wanted to add? Okay, thank you so much. So we shall move on to the next part, Ramayana. So in the last session, so we have seen until the fury. The chapter is the Part 1. So grief and fury. So, and we are going to see the Sita's plea. Rama agrees to depart and the grief and fury. So in this particular chapter, at the end, Rama took leave of the grieving Kaushalya, who followed after him with her eyes. He went out of her apartments, feeling agony. Lakshmana, who had resigned himself to accept Rama's determination to depart, followed close behind. Now Ramchandra is leaving Ayodhya. Okay, so we are entering into the next chapter. It is the Sita's plea. Okay, so we shall read this line and this chapter. So we go in the standard pattern, like reading a page by each devotee and reflect on it. Okay, so can I start with Asha Mataji first, please?
Sita's plea. Rama moved along the royal highway towards Sita's quarters, prized by the many Brahmins who lined the road. Sita still had heard the news of Rama's impending exile and was eagerly awaiting him, her mind absorbed in thoughts of his installation. As her husband entered the room, she sprang from her seat. Rama had left Lakshman outside and had gone along to speak with Sita. He was perplexed as he considered how to tell his wife the terrible news. Although striving to control his mind and contain his grief, Rama's face wore a pained expression and his head hung low. Is it one paragraph, Prabhu?
So until the page, Mataji, until the end of this page.
Oh, I understand. Sita was astonished to see him in that state, his face pale and bathed in perspiration. Apprehensively, she inquired, "What troubles you, my lord? Today is the auspicious and joyful day of your installation, but you seems to be covered by the dark shadow of grief." Sita asked Rama why he was not accompanied by the royal servants carrying the white umbrella. Why was he not wearing regal dress or anointed with sandalwood paste after having gone through the inaugural ceremony? Where was the king and his ministers? What was happening? Rama steadied his mind and looked upon Sita's face. "My worshipable father has ordered me to enter the forest for 14 years exile. O most beautiful princess, according to Kaigeyi's desire, my brother Bharata will be installed in my place. Indeed, in days gone by, 2 boons were granted to Kaikeyi by my ever truthful father. She has recalled the king's debt now and placed him under his word to send me away, conferring the office of Prince Regent upon the noble Bharata. In obedience to morally, I shall therefore depart forthwith to the forest. I have come to see you on my way.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Sorry, the letters are quite simple for me. I tried to apologize.
Okay, thank you so much, Mataji. So here, so Rama is entering into Sita's room, and Sita Devi is not aware of the um, Rama's actions now. So, and then, so his face, his face was pale and bathed in perspiration, and he was pained for the entire situation. It is not only because it is not just for Rama, it is for many people have to hear about this horrible news, and everyone will get distressed by hearing such kind of inauspicious news. So that's why Ramachandra's face was pale and bathed in the perspiration. So then Sita Devi is asking, so what is causing you being like that, my lord? So today is your installation. She is in Sita Devi in the very jubilant mood, but looking at Ramchandra, she is concerned, and she is expecting all the opulences and entourage coming behind the Prince Regent, but it is not like that. Why it is? Then Ramchandra is relaying the message that about the 2 bones that Kaikeyi has put in front of Dasharatha, and that truthful Dasharatha is now trying to fulfill desires of Kaikeyi. So that is making Ramachandra to go to the forest. And also here Rama is mentioning Bharata as the noble, even in that situation. So Bharata, he is the obedient brother, younger brother of Ramachandra. He always follow Ramachandra's footsteps. Uh, yes, still Rama is addressing Bharata is the noble, and in obedience to morality, I shall therefore depart forthwith to the forest. I have come to see you on my way. And then he doesn't have any intention to take Sita Mata along with him to the forest. That instruction is only for Rama, not for anyone else. Okay, so that is how Ramachandra is relaying the message to Sita Devi. Okay, so we shall move on. Next, can I request Meena Mataji to read the next page, please?
Hare Krishna. Sita, Sita soaked like a tree cage to a girl. How could this be true? She listened with ost- ostin- astonishment as Rama continued. Oh, oh, high-minded lady, please remain firm. In my absence, you should take to fast and prayer, remaining disciple at all time, worship and serve my father and mother, who are both grieving deeply due to my separation from them. Sumitra and Kaikai should also be served by you, as should Bharata and Satrughna, who are both as dear to me as my own self. He's, be, sp- be specially careful not to praise me before Bharata, but for men endowed with power and wealth cannot tolerate hearing other praise. Indeed, Bharata will be the king and should therefore be served by you and with all attention carefully. Sorry. End with sorry, where was Sita Sutta? Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Sorry, I just getting phone call. Sorry. Where was I? Sita was. She took. Yeah, where was my father and my mother? Yeah, indeed. Bharata will be the king and Sudhya, and Kaikai should also be served by you, as you should Bharata and Satrughna, who are both as dear to me as my own self. Be specially careful not to praise me before Bharata, for men endowed with power and wealth cannot tolerate hearing others praise. Indeed, Bharata will be the king and should therefore be served by you. With all attention, carefully avoiding any offense. Sita was Sita was doubt sorry. Sita was dumbfounded. She turned pale and her eyes opened wide. She knew without doubt that Rama means what he said. The princess listened to Horol as he instructed her. Rama told her to remain living peacefully in Ayodhya under the protection of the imperial and Bharata, devotional herself to rightful rightness, religiousness and religion. Rama himself would Rama himself would leave immediately for the forest. After hearing Rama speak, the noble Sita became indigent, indigent out of her love for her husband. Her cheeks flushed red, and she replied angrily, "How have you uttered such word toward, O Lord? Sorry, how have you uttered such word today, O Lord? They are never worthy of our they are never worthy of one possession of strength and weapon, who is capable of affording protection to the weak. Your advice is not worth hearing. Considering Rama as her only refuge, Sita spoke strongly. She described how the father, mother, brother, or any other relations were never the shelter of a chaste woman with a husband. The wife should share her husband's fortune under all circumstances. She stood in front of Rama, her eyes flashing as she continued, I am enjoyed by ancient religion's course to enter the forest along with you, dearest Rama. I cannot possibly remain in I Ayodhya. If you have today for the forest, I should walk before you, clearing away the sharp grasses and thorns on the path. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. So here, so after hearing Ramchandra, so Sita Mata stood just like a tree caught in a gale, and she is now puzzled. What is happening like that? And then Rama further explained. So first of all, Ramchandra is making Sita Mata saying that, "Oh, highly minded lady, please remain firm. One has to be uh, give the message in a proper time and place and circumstances so that other people will not be agitated." So this we could say, for example, when we are hearing the news, whenever it is coming in the channels or sometimes about the war, so many people died, there is so much of havoc is going on, then they relay the message in a proper mood. Mood in the sense with a smiling face, because they are without showing any distress feelings or laughing feelings like that. They simply they give the message so that people who are hearing, it makes the impression that, oh, such kind of horrible things are happening. So it may give distress. Just by the hearing of the news itself, one may lose the life. So here, Ramachandra is very concerned with such kind. So he's first of all, he is making Sita Mata, please remain firm. And then what Ramachandra is saying, so you should take to fast and prayer, remaining disciplined at all times. When husband is not at nearby, then woman has to follow these rules, fast and prayers, not decorating the body properly. As beautiful as when the husband is here. So these are the rules for a woman. And Ramchandra is telling, worship and serve my father and mother, who are both grieving deeply. So Dasharatha, Kaushalya, and also Ramchandra saying Sumitra and Kaikeyi as well. Kaushalya, Sumitra, Kaikeyi, those three are the mothers, my father, you serve them. And also, um, you should Bharata and Shatrughna, who are both dear to me as my own self. And because here Bharata is going to be the king, so you need to serve him as well. And also not to praise me before Bharata, because he is the king. And Rama is saying that uh, power and wealth cannot tolerate hearing others praised. For men endowed with power and wealth cannot tolerate hearing others praised. This we see. And then here Bharata will be the king, and you should therefore be served by, and should therefore be served by you with all attention, carefully avoiding any offenses. And then Sita Mata was, no, she could not tolerate all these things, whatever Rama is saying. And then later on, Sita Mata is contemplating that, how have you uttered such words today, O Lord, saying that, how can you speak knowing about me? They are never worthy of one possessed of strength and weapons who is capable of affording protection to the weak. Your advice is not worth hearing. So Sita Mata is always determined to walk in the footsteps of her husband. And she is, whenever she is speaking, it is in the angry mood. So she considers Rama as her only refuge. Sita spoke strongly for a good cause. That is the good cause for a woman all the time. Not to get separate. How to become, for the sake of the comforts, one should not stay far away from the husband. Even though there are so many difficult hurdles coming in our way, so many misunderstandings, women, it is always auspicious for a woman to stay with the husband only in all times and circumstances. And then, wife should share her husband's fortune under all circumstances. Sita Mata confirms this one again. And she described how father, mother, brother, or any other relation were never shelter of just a woman if a woman has got a husband. See, this is very, very important. And wife should share her husband's fortune under all circumstances, either in the pains or in the pleasures. So this is the statements that we have to learn and take and implement in our day-to-day life. But many people nowadays, women, they're going to the colleges and with so much little bit of knowledge acquiring, though it is making them proud and making them to think that I am independent. Because of that, but due to their feminine nature, they are exploited. Their thoughts are not right according to their bodily condition. So they go in that way and they will be exploited by others. But what is the education means? Giving the samskara, how to behave, That is called education, not the art of living. You work hard and you will get some food. That is not the education. That is art of living. So one has to go to the school only to learn the samskara and how to live to make the life perfection, not to how to work more and more, not accumulate more and more, which cannot be maintained. That is not the purpose. So Sita Mata is mentioning all these things. I am enjoined by the ancient religious codes to enter the forest along with you. Dearest Rama, I cannot possibly remain in Ayodhya. If you leave today for the forest, I shall walk before you, clearing away the sharp grasses and thorns on the path. Sita Mata wanted to serve. She wanted to take this service to Ramachandra. Actually, it is Lakshmana has done this kind of activity later on. But Sita Mata is saying that I will do clear away the sharp grasses and thorns on the path. Okay, that is the mode of a wife, just a woman. See, that is just a woman with a husband. She serves her husband. Okay, thank you so much, Mataji. So we shall move on. Can I request Radha Sevka Mataji to take on another page, please?
Yeah. Can you just point where we are? Okay, yeah. Sita assured, sorry, Sita assured Rama that he could take her anywhere with confidence. She would have happily under his protection and she would live happily under his protection and would prefer forest life with him to residence in the richest palace or even heaven itself. Without him, she would have been tainted in all the sorry, just sorry. She had been trained in all the arts of service and was well prepared to accompany him. I need to no further advice, O Lord. Simply order me to depart, remaining with you in fragrant woodlands. I shall be happy, and as I am now, living in your palace. Sita felt pained that Rama had not considered taking her with him. Raised in a line of warrior kings, the princess was not easily disturbed by difficulty. Again and again, she exhorted her husband to take her to the forest. Certainly, you are capable of guarding me from any danger. Indeed, none other can guard me as you can, Rama, nor is it in their sacred duty. I shall therefore go with you today. That is my fixed determination. Sita was fond of the country. She imagined herself alone with Rama amid beautiful mountains, woods, and lakes. Even if it was austere, she would nevertheless prefer thousands of years spent with her husband in this way than a single day without him. She spoke her deepest feelings. I shall enter the forest at your feet. I am exclusively devoted to you. My mind is ever attached to you, and I am determined to die if disunited from you. Therefore, grant my prayer and take me with you today. Rama considered the difficulty of living in the forest, and he did not feel at all inclined to take Sita with him. He spoke gently to his dear wife, who had buried her face in her hands, and she was sobbing. My dearest lady, you are born of a noble line, and you are always devoted to virtue. Practice that virtue and appease my mind, for I cannot bear to see you suffer. I shall now give you advice meant only for your good. Frail Sita, not only is there no joy in the fearful forest, but it is always fraught with misery. Simply by taking you there, I would be neglecting my duty to protect you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. So here again, Sita Mata is assuring her determination. Now she's making up her mind firmly. She's making up her mind firmly and digesting the news, what needs to be the consequences and what is her life is going to be. And then speaking to Ramachandra. She's not speaking just like coming from the mouth. For sometimes we see people simply speak. As soon as they hear something, immediately they say something. But not like that. Sita Mata is uh, contemplating everything and putting everything firmly and speaking here to Rama. So, and she's speaking with confidence. She would live happily under his protection and would prefer forest life with him to reside in the richest, uh, with him to residence in the richest place, or even heaven itself without him. She cannot live without Ramachandra, even if it is a heaven. So this is she had been trained in all arts of service. This is the service. Feminine feature should have a service attitude. It is not the enjoying attitude, service attitude. Purusha and Prakriti. So Purusha, Krishna is the Purusha, Ramachandra is the Purusha, Sita Devi is the uh, energetic. Energy. So Sita Devi is the energy, internal potency of the Lord. So Hladini Shakti. So she serves the Lord in all. So here, as in day-to-day life, as women or humans, we got similar kind of propensity. Women are trained in the all arts of the service and was well prepared to accompany him. So women's duty is to support the husband in all times and circumstances. And Sita says, I need no further advice, O Lord. Simply order me to depart, remaining with you in fragrant woodlands. I shall be happy as I am now, living in your palace. So Janaka Maharaj, he is one of the 12 Mahajanas. So Krishna mentions in the Bhagavad Gita as well. And Yamadharmaraja mentions about Janaka. So now Sita Devi was raised under the protection of Janaka Maharaj. So she said, she had been trained in all sorts of service. That is the fortunate thing when we take birth in the family of devotees. And we do not need any advices from anywhere else. And so Sita Mata is saying very boldly to Rama itself. So Rama knows all these things about the just a woman. And Sita felt pained that Rama had not considered taking her with him. So it is kind of a testing to Sita Devi. And it is a learning points for all of us as humans. How Sita Mata is speaking and how Rama is acting. And Rama's duty is to protect wife in all times and circumstances, giving the comforts. And here, Sita Mata is again saying, she exhorted her husband to take her to the forest. Certainly, you are capable of guarding me from any danger. Indeed, none other can guard me as you can, Rama, nor is it their sacred duty. I shall therefore go with you today. That is my fixed determination. This is fortunate. A woman, it doesn't matter if it is a begging thing or not. If woman is with her husband, she will feel so much of happiness. That for if it is just a woman. But other women who are greed for other things, even they send the husband away for different countries to go and earn money and come, I will enjoy here. That is not the way for a woman. So here and then further, Sita was fond of the country and also now she is imagining herself in the mountains and woods and lakes, all the beauty things, so that there will not be any further disturbance. As long as woman is with husband, they will be happy. Either it is a forest or heaven or hell. Okay, so now Sita Mata is now determined, and then Rama considered the difficulty of living in the forest and explaining all the scenarios, like explaining the Sita Mata that you are a prince, you are born in the royal order, but if you come to the forest with me, you will be uh, disturbed, and it is a fearful forest. There are so many animals. You have to walk along the with thorns and bushes and anything. And previously, Sita Mata said, I will clear the path, thorny bushes. O Rama, when you walk, I will go in front of you, I will clear all these things. That is service attitude. And Rama is further saying to awaken those royal comforts within the Sita Devi so that she doesn't take such kind of troubles. So, uh, and here Rama is saying further that not only is there no joy in the fearful forest, but it is always fraught with misery. Simply by taking you there, I would be neglecting my duty to protect you. So here again, drama duty is to protect the wife. So he is putting all these concerns. Okay, these are very good husband and wife conversations. Okay, we shall move on. Can I request Sachi Mataji to read further another page, please? Mrida Sachi Mataji. Okay, if Mataji is not available, then I shall read a page. So Rama described the forest where he had gone many times for hunting expeditions. There were numerous lions and other fierce beasts. Marshes and rivers abounded in crocodiles and other fierce aquatics. The forest paths were rugged and often impassable. Innumerable thorny trees and stinging bushes made traveling difficult. Sharp grasses grew everywhere. Hornets, gnats, scorpions, spiders, and mosquitoes were always present, along with snakes and serpents of every kind. In the deep forest, the darkness was dense. Furious winds often blew, lashing a traveler's face with debris. Rama was determined to dissuade the gentle Sita from following him. Exhausted after searching all day for food, one must lie down at night upon beds of dry leaves. Baths must be taken in lonely lakes, which are the abode of serpents. By day and night, the terrible pangs of hunger can be appeased only by one's mind. For once, for food is for one's mind, for food is scarce. O princess, one is subjected to all kinds of illnesses and mental anguish. Anger, greed, and fear must be completely controlled. A forest is certainly a place of terrible suffering. Therefore, give up this idea of following me there. It is not a secure place for one such as you. Sita's determination remained unshaken. All these dangers will be as nothing to me if I am able to remain by your side. I will, in any event, have no fear whatsoever with you as my protector. Even Indra will not be able to harm me when you are with me. What then of mere beasts? You have always instructed me that a wife can never be independent from her husband. O Rama, indeed, she is half of his very self. How then can I not accompany you? So Sita remembered how when Sita was a young girl, an astrologer had predicted that she would one day have to live in the forest. Sure, the time had arrived. She continued to plead with Rama. Was this was this not an opportunity for her to fulfill her religious duty by following him to the forest? Would not any other? Would not any other course be against virtue? The husband was the wife's supreme deity. Sita quoted the scriptures. Just a woman who remained throughout life by her husband's side surely attained the same destination as him after death. That was her only desire, to be with Rama always. Looking into Rama's eyes, she spoke in a piteous voice. For what reason then, O great hero, you will leave me behind? I who am devoted and faithful, who shares alike your every pleasure and pain, and who desires to follow the religious path. You should certainly bring me with you. Otherwise, being sorely afflicted, I shall resort to poison, fire, or water in order to bring about my end. So this is again Sita Mata's reflections. Rama wanted to dissuade Sita Mata not to come to the forest. So the forests are very, very fearful. If anyone has gone to the wild forests, there are so many snakes and thorny bushes and sharp grasses, and there is the winds blow very horribly with so lots of debris and so many snakes like pythons and cobras and scorpions, poisonous things. So they live. So if anyone has gone to the such kind of forest, they might have experienced. And apart from that, there are cheetahs which can climb even the trees if one climbs a tree for the safety. But still, lions and tigers they also chase person to kill them. And the bears, so many wild animals. So such kind. So Rama wanted to dissuade Sita Devi following him and saying so many other the forest is abode of serpents and so many terribles. In the night time, it is very difficult again. There are mm, nighttime animals also, they will chase for the food. So it's a very dangerous place. But Sita Mata's determination is unshaken, remained unshaken, and she wanted to face all kinds of dangers in all times and circumstances. She wanted to be with her husband only. So, and here, what is kind of that kind of a testing? So, for example, there was a situation when in the Krishna and Arjuna, after the Kurukshetra battle, Ashwadhama has killed five sons of Draupadi when they were sleeping. At that time, Arjuna promised Draupadi that, oh Draupadi, I will just go and bring the head of Ashwadhama, who has killed your children. And Krishna and Arjuna, they immediately go, and then Arjuna caught Ashwadhama and captured him. Of course, there was so many other things happened. So using of Brahmastras, and Arjuna has retracted them. Later on, after he caught him, and Krishna says to Arjuna that Arjuna, so Brahmabandhu nahantavyaha atatayi vadarhanaha. So Krishna says that a person who is Aditayi. Aditayi means who puts the fires to the one's home, who steals the wife, who steals the wealth, who steals the land. Likewise, Krishna gives so many reasons to kill a person. Now, this Ashwadhama, without pleasing to his master, and without following the scriptural injunctions, and he has killed the innocent children. And also, I have heard that you are going to bring the head of Ashwadhama. So immediately kill him. So here, Krishna wanted to test because Krishna already spoke Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. So now Arjuna's time, whether he is going to do right thing or not. But it is appearing naturally. But Arjuna contemplated for some time and then he did not like to kill Ashwadhama at that point of time. And what he wanted to do, take Ashwadhama to the camp and put in front of Yudhishthira and Draupadi. Yudhishthira will take decision what needs to be done. And then Arjuna passed the test because he is a son of a Brahmana. Brahma Bandhu na hantavyaha. He should not be killed. At the same time, Atatayi Vadarhanaha. And he is the Atatayi, who is the aggressor. He must be killed. So now later on, there are so many conversations. At the time, Krishna, hearing from Draupadi, Yudhishthira, Bhimasena wanted to kill him immediately then and there itself. But hearing all and also to please Krishna, that is very important. Arjuna has to take action. He must be killed and he should not be killed bodily. So now that is the instructions. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has given Bhagavad Gita instructions. Arjuna has to follow those things. And here, Sita Devi has heard number of times from Ramachandra about the duties and responsibilities about dharma. So here she says that you have always instructed me that a wife can never be independent from her husband. O Rama, indeed, she is half of his very self. How then can I not accompany you? Now this is the testing for Sita Devi. So Rama has given all the dharma to Sita Devi. Now it is a time for her as well. So now Sita Mata is also remembering about her pastimes, about her astrologer prediction that she is going to live in the forest. And now she wanted to accompany with her husband firmly. And also mentioning that Sita Mata quoted the scriptures not by assuming or without one has to always quote the scriptural injunctions. Otherwise, that conversation would not have any base. It will bring havoc in the people's minds, whoever is hearing. One should not speak unnecessarily. That is called prasangam majaram pasham. It doesn't have any base. So Sita Mata quoted the scriptures. Just a woman, of course, we might be hearing from either Prabhupada or Krishna or from anyone else. But we need to have it. Whenever Krishna speaks from the Vedas. Sarvopanishado gavo dogda gopalanandanaha. So he extracted all the scriptural injunctions and put into Bhagavad Gita. That is Dharmam Sakshat Bhagavad Pranitam. And if Prabhupada speaks, Prabhupada quotes the reference. And whenever I speak, I quote the reference and I speak. When Prabhupada speaks, he quote the reference and then speak. So otherwise, one cannot speak just like that. Though it may be true, he cannot speak just like that. He has to refer the quotation from the scriptures. So Sita Mata quoted the scriptures. A chested woman who remained throughout life by her husband's side surely attained the same destination as him after death. So this is the quotation from the scriptures. The Sita Mata referred. That was her only desire to be with Rama always. Looking into the Rama's eyes, she spoke in a piteous voice and saying that, for what reason then, O great hero, you will leave me behind? I who am devoted and faithful, who shares alike your every pleasure and pain, and who desires to follow. So likewise, when Sita Mata is speaking to Ramachandra, quoting from the scriptures and each and every addressing all the concerns whatever Rama has put to dissuade Sita Devi. Now Ramachandra doesn't have much options. So although Sita's lamentation hurt him, Rama did not relent. He tried to pacify and reassure her, but she only became all the more determined to accompany him. Agitated at the thought of separation from her husband, she taunted him. So these are the things. Generally, a woman has got a very major role in performing pastimes. if men wanted to do certain kind of activity, but women, they will be either coming as the opposite, arguing kind of thing to bring the rasa of that pastime. So they have got a separate role. Okay, so that is now Rama's situation is she taunted him. Okay, likewise, and also she mentioned, okay, we shall, Hare Krishna Mrida Sasi Mataji, are you available to read? Or we shall stop here.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you so much, Mataji. So would you like to read about one page of this up to here?
Yes, Prabhuji. Just a minute, Prabhuji. Due to my background.
Yeah.
Has my father Janak obtained as my protector of men in the form of man? How is your absence? Could I tolerate the people falsely saying it seemed that the strength and valor are lacking in Rama, as he could not protect his own dear wife? What fear has assailed you that you now desire to desert me, although I remain in, internally devoted to you? I will not cast my eyes on another man, even in the thought. How then can you ever consider delivering me for protection to another? O my lord. Sita continued to beseech Rama. She had no intention of remaining behind without him under any circumstances, be it in heaven or hell. She could only be happy by her husband's side. Sita gazed imploringly at Rama as she begged him to take her with him. Rama, Rama was agonized by the thought of leaving behind his beloved wife. He would miss her. Still, he feared her suffering in the forest. His heart as she cried out to him, "Without you, heaven will be exactly as hell to me, while with you, hell will be the best of all abodes. How can I remain here under the control of those who are inimical to you and have sent you to the forest? If I must watch you live without me, then I shall drink poison this very day. I cannot bear the pain of separation from you for even an hour. How then shall I stand in for 14 years? Take me with you, or let me give up my life here and now in your presence."
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. And I think we are going to, yeah, can you read another paragraph, Mataji?
Okay, Prabhuji.
And
Sita's beautiful face was streaked with the tears which fell continuously from her dark eyes like drops of water from blue lotus flowers. Rama embraced her and gently wiped away her tears. He was still apprehensive about taking her, but he could not see her endure the pain of his separation. She was already almost senseless from grief, and he had not even left. What would happen to her during 14 years of his absence? Making up his mind to take her with him, he spoke to her reassuringly. "I will find no pleasure even if heaven if I obtain it at the cost of your suffering. O most pious lady, um, not knowing your real feeling and being afraid that forest life will cause you pain, I discourage you from following me. I see now that this this destiny has decreed you should dwell with me in the forest. Follow me then, O princess, and I shall protect you in the strict accord with the moral laws always fall by the virtues."
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. Very nicely read. So now Sita Mata, Rama is now happy to take Sita Mata, followed by the virtuous. So Rama tried to dissuade Sita Mata, but Sita Mata is firm in her determination. And then she is crying. And then finally, The Lord and the Lord's concept, they're always not separated. Of course, though we see here sometimes, even after returning Ramchandra from the forest exile, they stayed together in the Ayodhya for next 2 years approximately. And then Sita Mata was sent to the forest, and later on, Sita Mata was having the Lava and Kushat, the two children. Once they got raised, maybe approximately 14 to 16 years, and then after that, Sita Mata left this world and went going with her mother Sita Devi to the along with goddess Earth. After that, Ramachandra ruled the earth for 11,000 years. So whatever we are seeing here, and this is all things are happening within of less than 40, 50 years, something like that. But Ramachandra ruled the kingdom Ayodhya for 11,000 years. So where by following all the scriptural injunctions. So there physically though Sita Mata was not with Ramachandra, but she is internal potency of the Lord. But he followed all the injunctions. Okay, this we could see from the Ramayana and Rama. Uh, so he mentions to Sita Devi, so I shall protect you in strict accord with moral laws, always followed by the virtuous. O princess, you follow me then. Likewise, Rama assured her. And so, in the other instance, uh, with Sati Devi and Lord Shankara, Sati Devi wanted to go to the sacrifice of her father, whatever he is performing, Daksha Yajna. So there are so many women, they are going along with their husbands in the airplane. Sati Devi looked at all of them, they're going, and she thought, okay, my sisters and my mother, everyone are be coming, the relatives, friends, and family. I also wanted to go there. And then Sati Devi went to Lord Shiva about her desire. And Lord Shiva gave so many reasons why you should not go there. Because Daksha is envious to Lord Shankara. And because of that, Sati Devi also will not be treated properly. Daksha may not give proper treatment to her as well. Likewise, but when you are not respected like that, for a chaste woman and a respected woman, such insult will be equivalent to death. At that time, after hearing all these instructions from Lord Shankara, Sati Devi was very angry and with reddish eyes, she could not say any word. But so much of frustration, and she could, and after all, I'm a woman. I wanted to go. She cries. And Prabhupada mentions in the purport during that verse, a woman's weapon is the cry. Whenever woman is crying, it will make the man to agree to the proposal of a woman. Men cannot see women crying. Even though it is unfair, it may not be right, but still men come down for the sake of women. A chaste woman should not keep the tears in the eyes at any point of time. But here, Sita Devi want, but only for the sake of husband she can keep. To come nearer to the husband, she can keep, not otherwise. So, but Sati Devi, she went, she cried, but Lord Shankara, he did not stop her later on. And then immediately she was leaving, immediately leaving. And then by looking at her leaving, Lord Shankara, so he arranged that all other ganas like Nandi, everyone accompany her when she was going. So that is husband duty again when she is doing, but he is giving the protection to wife. Okay, so there are so many ways of the relationship between wife and husband. We can see in the Rama and Sita's life how they are talking each other by quoting the scriptural injunctions and duties, following virtuousness, following the these fastings and vratas and those things to be performed. Okay, these are the learning points from the Ramayana. So we shall stop here, and I request dear devotees kindly add all the points, whatever you have heard, you wanted to share anything on this Ramayana. We have gone through a number of paragraphs, more than half of it. Are any questions? You kindly raise. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Okay, so one question. Obviously, we hear about times when Lord and his potency are separated,
Mm-hmm.
and when they are in there together also.
Mm-hmm.
So in so is this like a cycle? Like sometimes they're together, sometimes they're not together. Because all the Leelas, they suggest that sometimes the Lord is with his internal potency and sometimes it's not. And how does, so in like a mundane way, how do we understand it in everyday life?
So in everyday, um, uh, it is kind of the separation between man and woman. It is because we are materially embodied, so that makes the suffering. If there is separation between man and woman, if they're attached together, if they're following the scriptural injunctions, and it will give the pain because we're materially embodied. Whereas Ramachandra and Sita Devi is the internal potency of the Lord. Lord's body is completely pure spirit. So whenever the Lord appears, he comes in the spiritual body, and his energy is always with him, internal potency. But from the material point of mundane perspective, women always to be associating with the husband only. It's just a woman. So here, Sita Devi and Ramachandra, they are acting Naradevatma Apannaha Surakaja Chikeshaya. So they are acting like a human beings here. They're crying, showing the affection, quoting the scriptural injunctions, and all these things, acting as a humans. In day-to-day life, we have to be like that. And sometimes when we are far away from wife or a husband, it must be a scriptural cause. It must be the higher purpose, not for the lower cost, like economic money sake or buying this thing, or not those kind of things. But it must be a duty bound. That is a duty bound, the higher purpose, the scriptural injunctions, instruction of your father, instruction of a spiritual master. These are the higher purposes and the duty bound. So within those duty bounds, one can take her, if there is a possibility, take the wife also with him, according to scriptural injunctions. It goes, there are so many perceptions, but yeah, these are the generic points, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji. Yes, Meena Mataji. We can't hear you, Mataji.
So, like, this, um, this Urmila, like Lakshman's wife,
Yeah.
so their heart sacrifice is not also great because he just stayed in Ayodhya and served their parents and everybody, even
Yes, yes.
even
So that sacrifice of Urmila. So here,
is it good or greater than even Sita?
so Sita Devi and Urmila, they are the sisters. So they lived under the same father. So the situation here, Lakshmana is going to the forest to serve Ramachandra, to look after him. and Lakshmana without sleep, without food and water. He did not sleep for 14 years, day and night. He always guarding. Because, and also the food, he did not eat any food. So this we also see from the scriptural injunctions in the Ramayana only. And after 14 years of exile, when Ramchandra comes back and he meets Bharata, at the time when everyone are happy, at the time Lakshmana was, his eyes were getting closed. So now, at the time he has got a small laugh. And in such kind of scenario, when he laughed at, everyone were asking, Rama was thinking differently, Sita Mata was thinking differently, and Bharata was thinking differently, Hanuman was thinking differently, Vibhishana was, everyone's heart. Why Lakshmana is laughing like that? They are thinking that whether I have done something not right, like that everyone contemplated. And later on, Ramachandra wanted to rectify that situation because it is a uh, uncircumstantially laughing. So he asked Lakshmana, "What is the reason for your laugh?" Then Lakshmana says, "My dear brother, so I have been not sleeping for the 14 years. Now, uh, by the happiness and we are all coming together, now automatically my eyes are getting closed." He says the simple reason. Of course, but the situation is, what is the moral is unnecessarily we should not laugh uncircumstantially. That we learn from that scenario. Ramchandra later on he says, of course, but here Lakshmana duty is the very great to serve Ramachandra. And whenever Ramachandra gives the fruit to eat, then only he will eat. Otherwise, if he gives the fruit and he doesn't say not to eat it, then Lakshmana takes the fruit and he doesn't eat it, and he will keep the fruit as it is without eating. Because Ramchandra did not ask him to eat, he just gave the fruit. He did not assume that because Lord is giving fruit, I must eat it. He did not assume that. He is waiting for that instruction. Of course, that one also we see in a different pastime that mm, he has one should be fasting so many days that there is another pastime of Indrajit when he was to be killed by a person who must be fasting all these days. That also is the one reason for Lakshmana. Of course, that also comes circumstantially. Um, it is kind of a pastime arrangement. Lakshmana gives that reason later on to Ramachandra. Okay, so here when Lakshmana is serving Rama in throughout the day and night without eating, without sleeping, in such circumstances, Urmila cannot stay with Lakshmana throughout the forest. And Urmila understands how much Lakshmana devoted to Ramachandra. So in order to not interrupt the services of Lakshmana to Ramachandra, she decided to stay back. This one point we can understand. That is
looking
the
after the parents as well, like the parents.
sorry, Mataji.
Looking after the parents as well, like
Yes, yes.
excellent.
So there is again Kaushalya is there, and then Sumitra are there, Lakshmana's mother. So they are need to be taken care of as well.
Even somehow they also take care about Kaikeyi as well. Yeah,
Sorry, Mataji, I couldn't hear you.
so I'm just saying, even that they take care about Kaikeyi as well, like even the
Yes.
other person, like I don't know whether about you know about this Ganesh, like they keep it Ganesh in home for and then they research. You know why that why they do like this?
It's a Ganesh, keeping Ganesh in the home.
Like there's this from birthday to day they keep 10 days, some keep 5 days, and then they go to the sea or resurgent this Ganesh, and, on the sea.
Ganesh Nimajjan.
In this, yeah, in Bombay and everywhere now also everybody's house they keep it Ganesh, bring out Ganesh, and then they do the after 5 days the Visarjan they put it on the somewhere sometime in the pocket water and like in the sea. So why they do this? Do you know anything about that?
No, Mataji. So
This
I
is
don't have any
Bombay.
scriptural injunctions why they perform like that.
Okay. Especially in Maharashtra is happening also, isn't it?
Yes, but I don't know the scriptural references, but I cannot say any word about it.
Okay, it is fine because I was just confused at what I could do, what's behind the story. But anyway, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Okay, so any other questions or you wanted to add the devotees? Okay, so there are no further additions or questions. So that is from our Ramayana perspective. So we shall continue in the next session, the next fortnight, next Saturday, sorry, next week after Sunday. Okay, so we shall stop here. And if you're all happy, we shall conclude and continue with further japa. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। Have a Krishna conscious day, everyone. Jai Krishna. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya